my child was very, very extremely smart and wise and could put just about anything over my head, and I wouldn't know that she was lying. She was going here or there, and she wasn't. She was going on a drug run. One pill can kill, and I hope to prevent that to someone somewhere to help them. Oh, she was a precocious child. So very smart. I mean, at the top of her kindergarten class, the only one who could open up the reading, the picture book, and read it to the rest of the children. She'd be sitting in the teacher's rocking chair, and she would be reading the book to the rest of the children. We'd go to the library, and I think the limit was 30 books at this one particular library, and we'd almost check out 30 books. If we could carry them, we would have. But she loved to read. She didn't have a whole bunch of friends her age at school because she acted older than she really was. So she didn't have a whole bunch of kids to hang out with, but she found older children that she hung out with. Before she passed, she had a boyfriend that could not be trusted. He was in drugs, alcohol, you name it, he did it. And I couldn't separate the two of them as much as I tried. And he said, I'm taking her to Texas to my family and get her away from the drugs. Well, he was taking drugs too. But she went, and she didn't want to go. She cried and cried. And when she got to the bus station, she texted me and said, Mom, it just dawned on me, I'll never see you again. And I said, of course you will. You're going to visit me. I'm going to visit you. But it ended up to be true. She did never see me again. And she stayed in Texas about 6 months. And I got a call from his family that the ambulance was taking her to the hospital, and she stopped breathing. They found her in their bedroom, and she was unresponsive and blue. He was outside helping neighbors do landscape, and he came in and he found her, and she was nodded. The nod, I guess they call it the nod. And she was unresponsive. And this is what bothers me. Okay, they were staying with the sister. He called the sister first. Why not 911? That second or two maybe could have saved her. We don't know. But that was pretty ignorant of him to do that. And I do believe in my heart, and I'll take to my grave, that he knows who did it. He knows who sent the pills. I talked to the doctors, and they said it did not look good, that she was going to make it. And at the time, they didn't know what drug, but they said an overdose. And I don't know if they administered Narcan. Everything was very vague because I wasn't out there. And when I got there, it was hard to get information from the people, the law enforcement and such. So when I got there, she was already gone. She was brain dead. And she had signed on her Arizona driver's license to be a donor. So when I got there, the appropriate people came in, and I signed off on that's what she wanted. And I thought, I will grant her, respect what she wanted. And she ended up donating a right and left kidney, a liver, and her heart. And I left after all the business was taken care of. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't know the boyfriend's family. I left, and when I got back to Phoenix, I got a call from the hospital saying that they were doing a little parade that morning. I guess wheeling her in honor of removing her. And they said, "Would you like to come?" And I said, "I can't. I'm home already. It would take me hours to get there." So I missed that. And when I saw her, of course, in the hospital in the ICU, she couldn't hear me. She was gone already. And I talked to her a little bit and signed the papers. And those are the last memories I have of her. And those are usually the memories I think about most often during the day. When I wake up at night, I think of her in that hospital bed. I didn't know what was going on when all of this went on, and I didn't have a whole lot of support. So I didn't do anything right away. So about 2.5 years later, I called the DEA. Well, first I went to their family summit and discovered them. And they were wonderful. I fell in love with everybody there. They were wonderful people, just wonderful. And so that's how I got involved. And when I got home, I looked at my agenda and all my papers, and I gave them a call. And the agent I spoke with, and I won't mention names or anything, but said, "Well, it's a kind of an old case. I can't promise you anything. Plus, you have her devices from Texas, but they're from Texas. I don't know if we'll be able to do anything with them because they're from another state, if we can decode them." Or so he said, "But I'd be more than glad." It was so polite, so gracious. He said, "I'll be more than glad to look at them." And he or someone looked at them, and they found stuff from what they think is where she got them. So they're following up on that. One of my favorite stories, and it's very sad. Well, the whole thing is sad, but I love Peter, Paul, and Mary. And she grew up learning about Peter, Paul, and Mary from me. And shortly before Mary Travers died, she wrote a song for her grandchild. And it was amazing. The first time I put the VHS tape in, I'm dating myself, I put the VHS tape in, and Mary sang this song to her grandchild. Amanda just started bawling. I mean, it brought, I guess, memories to her of her and I being together and having a relationship. And she cried and cried. And every time we played it, she would cry. She was very emotional and sentimental. People they're tired of me talking about her. They don't want to hear it. And I go places. Where I currently live is where I lived when she was in Phoenix. And so everywhere I go, there she is. A Cher song in the grocery store was a trigger when we'd go to Cher concerts. So even a simple trip to buy milk is a trigger. I try to tell myself the best I could for her, but of course I blame myself that I didn't catch her addiction to the drugs beforehand. I had no idea she was dabbling in fentanyl. I thought it was Xanax. She always talked about Xanax and wanted Xanax and was going to get Xanax. So I thought she was using Xanax. I struggle every day to go through the day living with that. And she didn't live with me, but my house is a museum. In huge, huge frames with little pictures all over the house. I'm running out of space to put her pictures because I have so many. I think of her in that hospital bed. And people don't seem to understand. Oh, how long has she been gone? You'll get over it. It'll get easier. Well, guess what? Has it happened to you? If not, you don't know. And I guess I'm bitter. I'm bitter, but I feel I deserve to be bitter.